What's good, y'all? It's Swayze, and today I want to talk about trophy systems in Call of Duty Vanguard and whether or not they should add them and what this kind of means to the whole realism versus gameplay debate that's kind of going on. And what made me think about this is the latest Call of Duty tweet. It's basically just promoting the new blueprints, the new bundle, Red Mastercraft, Red Reactor Mastercraft. And as you can see from the picture, they look like they're kind of fancy future guns. They look like they're from space, or they're more likely from Halo, something you'd see in that versus Call of Duty. And it's kind of hard to tell from the picture, but there's some little red lightning at the end of the gun, and whenever you shoot somebody, whenever you take them out, basically their body, instead of just falling down and doing that little animation that it usually does, instead when you shoot somebody with the gun, they just disintegrate kind of into dust. They just kind of dead, and then the little red lightning kind of just sits there for a second over their dead body. So obviously, red lightning, okay, this is not realistic at all. It's nothing to do with Call of Duty World War II, but as everybody else was pointing in the comments of this, I'll show them here in a second, it really makes you think, at what point do we draw the line between a choice made for realistic sake versus for gameplay sake? And the one thing I want to point out real quick is, everybody loves to talk about these in absolutes, right? They make it seem like it's a choice where you can either have a realistic game versus have a game that is like fun or, all about gameplay. And I think that's a false equivalency. It's a false comparison, because it's all about choices. You make choices when it comes to making a game. Is it going to be more realistic, or is this, we're going to make this choice that's not realistic, but it makes the game funner? And people love to say, oh, well, you can't add a trophy system in because it's World War II, despite the fact that we have, the little red dot sight, yellow dot sights. We have these lightning guns. And when you say this to people, their first response is, oh, well, it has to be like that because the game would be very bad otherwise. But trophy system is too unrealistic. And it really just makes you question, at what point do we draw the line? We got lightning guns, okay? We got lightning guns from space in the damn Call of Duty Vanguard World War II game. All right, we got no factions. We're just fighting the same people over and over. We're basically fighting clones of ourselves whenever we go into a team deathmatch game. We're playing with weapons that, aren't really, viably there at the time of World War II. Some of them were, like, obviously experimental weapons. A lot of them just straight up didn't exist. You got ammo attachments for guns that just, what? That's not real. That would never be put in that gun. You've got, and obviously, blueprints, right? The biggest issue, blueprints. You got all these space guns, all these tracer packs, all kinds of stuff. And I'm going to go ahead and show one of the comments here that was on this Twitter thread. The person says, oh, I remember my grandfather telling me they were using guns that shot red lasers and looked like alien guns. And then you got El Pepe saying, oh, it's just multiplayer, man. They make weapons like that is not new. And what he's getting at is, it's a multiplayer game. It's just multiplayer, dude. Chill out. It's not in the campaign. This isn't new. It's for the sake of the game being fun. And at least that's what I'm getting from his comment. So then the person, rightfully responds, so they add ray guns to the game, but they won't make a trophy system because they say it will break the immersion. And I think that's where, the point lies. Why do we need a trophy system? It's because there's so many grenades. There's so many of these, once again, fire grenades and stuff that didn't exist back then. These, at least in the capacity that they are in the game. And see, you would think that every single soldier had two of them on, and they were just chucking them all over. And that the battlefields of World War II were just covered in fire from these thermite and incendiary grenades. But when you do that, when you make that decision to add in all of those grenades, all of those explosions, all the screen shaking, all of the smoke that comes out of it, when you decide to add all of that stuff to the game that is unrealistic, and then you say, hey, a trophy system cannot be added to the game because it's unrealistic, it just seems very contradictory and makes it look like you just don't know how to make a good game. Because, like I said, you could put stuff in the game that is not realistic for the sake of gameplay experience. i.e., making it so that each gun doesn't kill somebody in one shot, right? How annoying would it be if they were like, oh, it's got to be realistic, so, one bullet takes somebody out? It would be hardcore mode at that point. It would be a mil sim game. It wouldn't be Call of Duty. But the reason they do that, the reason they add a red dot sight in, the reason they add in these like ACOG scopes and longer range scopes and just different attachments to the guns that didn't exist, the reason they do that is to make the game funner at the expense of it being realistic. Cool, I'm with you there. But then you're going to turn around and say, trophy systems, that's too unrealistic. Now, the blueprints, the guns that shot red tracer rounds and blue tracer rounds, and eventually, they're going to get crazier with the dismemberment effects, right? They're going to release blueprints that make your guy turn into a stone. Like there's going to be like probably like a Medusa blueprint. There's going to be some blueprint that probably like they did for St. Patrick's Day, where it makes the body just kind of turn into gold coins, right? These are probably going to get added into Vanguard, and it's only going to get worse. So when they add in these like alien guns that shoot lightning, you gotta just sit back and ask, okay, why is that okay, but trophy systems aren't? And at the very least, if you want to just not even have to deal with this debate, you could just nerf the grenades or get rid of the incendiary grenades, or I think they should just be straight up taken out of the game. But I mean, they could add them as a field upgrade so that you could only use it like once or twice a match. That way they're not all over the battlefield 24/7. The whole map isn't on fire the entire match, and people don't realize, or people don't think that they need the trophy system anymore, because guess what, those grenades aren't a problem. And I think it's really telling when you look in these comments, and almost it doesn't even matter what the tweet will be about. Like Call of Duty could tweet something, Sledgehammer Games could tweet anything, and you'll see comments like this all the time. Heaven forbid we get a trophy system though. But trophy systems aren't historically accurate. We can't have those. And then I like this one: World War II in 2099, or like it's a reimagining of what World War II was like if it took place in the future. Like, because at this point, like, how do you excuse, how do you justify these crazy blueprint guns and all these other gameplay decisions that aren't realistic, and then take out some that are very, very much needed, like a trophy system? Right? You're saying we got a mini map in the corner where we know where everything is at all times, but we can't have a trophy system? All right, if a trophy system, once again, if a trophy system is that big of an immersion killer, is that big of a realism killer, then just get rid of the grenades. Get rid of the incendiary grenade. Get rid of all the smoke that comes off of it. Get rid of the reason we need trophy systems, right? You want people to stop complaining about a trophy system? Get rid of the reason we need it. All right, I don't know how else to describe it at this point, because everybody loves to talk about realism and say, oh, well, that's why we can't have this in the game, or that's why we can't have that in the game, is because, it would be too unrealistic. And then you ask them about something else, and then that's unrealistic, and what do they say? Oh, yeah, well, the game wouldn't be fun. So anytime somebody, puts it as like an all or nothing type deal, or they try to use contradictory logic, like I said, just say, yeah, I mean, duh, it's a video game. There's going to be video game stuff in it. Like, it doesn't have to be a mill sim. We don't have to be playing, some super hardcore Rainbow Six Siege type of game. But come on now, really? We got lightning guns, but we ain't got a trophy system? I don't know. I'm ranting at this point, but like I said, it's all about picking and choosing what is realistic, and it honestly seems like Call of Duty Vanguard, Sledgehammer Games, the Activision, everybody behind this game, it really just seems like they're just choosing all the wrong things to make realistic. It just seems like they're swinging and missing on all of the big stuff when it comes to this game, because I could rant about all of the things that aren't realistic in this game as much as I could rant about the things that they put in to be realistic but make the game not fun. I don't know. It just that's why it does seem kind of like a mess. I'm still having a little bit of fun with Vanguard, but man, I'm really tired of these grenade spams, especially on the smaller maps. I'm tired of just a lot of the dumb stuff, especially the bugs and the glitches. But hell, hopefully they can fix those. Bad gameplay design, bad gameplay decisions, things like this. Man, I have less hope that they'll fix. But hey, if they don't fix it, it is what it is. We'll just have to kind of put up with it. Like I said, there's only going to be more blueprints. It's only going to get more and more unrealistic. Come on, COD, just do it. Just throw in the trophy system. Make us happy. Call it like a magnet thing. Call it like a big block of magnet, and we're all going to pretend like it just like sucks the grenades in and makes them useless. I don't care. I'll find that more realistic than the laser gun alien crap that you're putting in now. I don't know. I like anything, something at this point to make the grenade spam less. It would be great, or just stop, making unrealistic blueprints. But we both know they're not gonna stop doing that. So I don't know. That's it for me today. I'll see you in the next one.